Ladies and gentlemen, what a night it was at UFC Fight Night. Because the man, the myth, the legend, Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira is back. And not just back, but back with a statement. He just defeated Mateusz Gamrot by submission in round 2, and what a beautiful clean comeback that was. Now look, most of us were worried. After getting brutally knocked out by Ilia Topuria just 3 months ago, people thought Charles would take a long break. But nope, this man took that L personally. 3 months later, he walks into the cage again and does what Charles Oliveira does best, put people to sleep. Today, we're breaking down everything, how the fight went, why this comeback is special, what's next for Oliveira, the possible Max Holloway showdown, and the latest injury and fight update on Alex Pereira. Alright, let's be real, when a fan favorite like Charles Oliveira loses, it hurts. The guy has one of the most loyal fan bases in the UFC, and that knockout loss to Topuria at UFC 37. That was brutal. Everyone felt it. Ilia Topuria came into the lightweight division like a storm, winning the belt, shaking up the rankings, and making headlines everywhere. But still, watching Charles go down like that was tough to digest. And here's the crazy part, only 3 months later, Charles said, "Let's do it again." The man didn't care about taking a long rest or playing it safe. He just jumped straight back in. Originally, he was supposed to fight Rafael Fiziev, but Fiziev got injured. So in stepped Mateusz Gamrot, a dangerous grappler with serious wrestling credentials. Most analysts, including me, thought this was a risky decision. Usually after such a devastating knockout, fighters take 6 to 8 months off, but Charles, he just smiled, shrugged, and signed another fight contract. And what happened next was vintage Oliveira magic. From the very first round, Charles looked sharper than ever. He was patient, technical, and calculated. Gamrot tried to use his wrestling, but we all know the ground is Charles Oliveira's kingdom. And when you enter that kingdom, you either tap or nap. In round 1, Gamrot did get a takedown, but instead of being in control, he looked like he was fighting for survival. Charles kept throwing up submissions, switching positions, threatening from every angle. If you've ever watched Oliveira's ground game, you know it's chaos, beautiful technical chaos. The man moves like a snake, always slipping, twisting, searching for that perfect opening, and the moment you relax, it's over. Gamrot somehow survived round 1, but in round 2, Charles flipped the script. He went for the takedown himself, took Gamrot's back, and within seconds, boom, locked in a rear naked choke. The same submission that's put away half the division. And what's even more wild, Gamrot had never been finished in over 30 professional MMA fights. Until now, Charles Oliveira became the first man to make him tap. With this victory, Oliveira extended his already ridiculous records. More submissions, more finishes. And he's now tied for the second most wins in UFC history, just behind Jim Miller, a man he's already beaten. This wasn't just a win, this was a statement, a remember me moment for the entire lightweight division, and considering this came only 3 months after a knockout loss, it makes it even more legendary. Fighters usually take years to mentally and physically recover from such a blow, but Charles, he just said, "Let's go again." That's warrior spirit right there. So after the fight, when asked what's next, Charles didn't hesitate, he called out Max Holloway. And guess what? Max Holloway accepted. Max said he's down to fight Charles in March 2026, and it could even be for the BMF title. Now, that's what I call a fight for the ages, because if you've ever seen these two fight, you know, Holloway's pressure boxing and granite chin versus Oliveira's slick grappling and ruthless finishing instincts. Bro, that's fireworks waiting to happen. And there's history too. They fought once before, almost 10 years ago, but it ended early due to a neck injury Charles suffered. So now, we might finally get to finish that unfinished business. If the UFC books it, it could easily become one of the most exciting non-title fights of the year. Now let's talk about the lightweight division. Topuria is still the champ, and right now, a direct title shot for Charles doesn't make total sense. But here's the thing, in the UFC, anything can happen. Somebody pulls out, somebody gets injured, and boom, Charles gets the call. The man's always ready, always dangerous. And while we're on that topic, let's talk about Arman Tsarukyan. After their last fight, Charles has fought 3 times, including a title bout, and Arman hasn't fought once. That level of inactivity doesn't sit well with Dana White or the UFC matchmaking team. So yeah, Charles might actually leapfrog Arman for a future title eliminator purely because of his activity and fan following. You can't deny it, the fans love Do Bronx. The UFC knows that. And the business of fighting isn't just about rankings, it's about excitement, storylines, and heart. Now let's switch gears to another Brazilian beast, Alex Pereira. He was at the same Brazil event, and fans noticed he was wearing a foot brace. Turns out during his fight against Magomed Ankalaev, Pereira broke his foot in round 1. Yeah, the guy fought almost the entire fight with a fractured foot. That's insane. Because of that, he's taking a break to recover properly. Pereira said he's targeting his comeback for June next year, probably at that massive White House event UFC is planning. Now, here's where it gets interesting. There are rumors that Alex Pereira and Jon Jones have verbally agreed to fight. Hold up though, don't take that as official confirmation yet. There's no contract, no official statement from Dana White, but both men have talked about it before. Jones wants a legacy fight, Pereira wants to test himself against one of the greatest ever. So yeah, the interest is real, and if that fight ever happens, it'll be a once-in-a-generation type of event. Imagine it, Pereira versus Jon Jones, two champions from different worlds, different styles, both chasing immortality. For now, Pereira's foot needs time to heal. He's expected to return around May or June next year, and you can bet it'll be another headline fight. As for Oliveira, this win reminded everyone why the fans call him Du Bronx. No one walks through fire and comes out smiling quite like him. He's not just a fighter, he's a symbol of resilience, of never giving up, of getting knocked down and standing up again with a smile and a submission waiting. So what do you guys think? Should Oliveira get another title run? Should Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira be for the BMF belt? And do you think Pereira versus Jon Jones could actually happen next year? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more UFC and MMA content packed with energy, breakdowns, and insider talk. This is your host signing off, M. Until next time. Keep your guard up and your chins down, because in the world of MMA, anything can happen.